What happens when the world's most powerful military enters a war it cannot easily understand? The Vietnam War became one of the darkest chapters in modern American history. As U.S. involvement grew in the 1960s, America sent hundreds of thousands of troops to South Vietnam to stop communism's spread. By the late 1960s, more than 500,000 American military personnel were there. But this was not the battlefield many commanders expected. Instead of a conventional war, U.S. forces faced guerrilla fighters who vanished into villages, forests, and underground networks. America answered with massive firepower, including aerial bombing and search and destroy missions meant to inflict heavy enemy losses. Civilians were often trapped in the middle. The most horrifying example was the My Lai massacre in March 1968, when U.S. soldiers killed several hundred Vietnamese civilians, including women and children. The killings were first concealed until investigations exposed both the massacre and the cover-up. Then came the painful human cost: 58,220 recorded U.S. military fatal casualties, according to National Archives data. But the Vietnamese people paid the greatest price, as civilians and combatants suffered devastating losses and communities were destroyed by years of war. Back home, Americans increasingly questioned why their country was fighting and whether leaders were telling the truth. The war divided families, sparked massive protests, and shattered trust in political and military leadership. In the end, American forces withdrew, and in 1975, North Vietnamese forces captured Saigon. The Vietnam War was not simply a story of soldiers and battles. It was a warning about the limits of military power and the cost when civilians bear the burden. The darkest lesson of Vietnam: winning battles does not always mean winning the war.